Okay, guys, I'm going to be going away for the weekend, so I wanted to leave you guys with a nice little video for you, actually suggested by someone in the YouTube comments. They were saying how the last few educational videos have been playing from win streak, okay, and they were wondering, oh, how do you play from lose streak? What if you don't have a strong board? Okay, what if you can't, like on 2-1, you don't have slammable items, you don't have 2-star units, you can't play for streak? What do you do? Okay, and the answer to that is you play for scaling slash lose streak, right? If you can't play for win streak, you play for lose streak slash scaling. And what does that look like? You don't level, you don't slam items unless it's core or saves HP, and then you make sure that you make your interest thresholds at all costs, okay, so that you have enough money to be able to come back in the game, okay. And the idea is obviously if you have that money being made in the early game and you haven't slammed your items, then later you can pick perfect items or closer to perfect items and have a lot of money to roll down for your comp. Okay, and so that's the idea behind lose streak and greeting items. And so as you can see, today I have a game for you played on Chicken Little, and this is my spot. Okay, I lost like I don't know, I lost like a lot of round. I'm 30 HP at 3-7. I'm not playing Piltover, I'm just 30 HP. Okay, and from this spot there are 4 challenger players in this lobby, and we go first. Okay, so I'm gonna explain how we went first, or at least, you know, top 4, doesn't have to be first, but top 4 from a lose streak spot. Okay, and if we take I can show you the game here. It's this one. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have 5 challenger players. Okay, so hopefully that gives me some credibility. Wow, sorry, I can't speak English. In terms of how we play this game. Okay, I may not play this perfect, but it should give you some ideas on what you should be doing if you do not have a 2-1 win streak board. Okay, so let's fast forward a bit, and we have Orn Forge where 2-5 or 3-5 you get an Orn anvil. Okay, and then let's fast forward a bit here until items. You can also see like what I buy in the shop, but none of this looks very good. I'm not really a fan of any of this, to be honest. The opener, like in terms of units, I mean, I know set 9.5 is like coming out soon, so like the specifics of like, you know, what items, what units you should be holding, it doesn't really matter too much, but you should know generally what's strong early, what's not. So stuff like Poppy 2, not very good. Actually, none of this is very good, even when 2-star, but, you know, just my opinion. Maybe Ori okay, maybe Maokai is good. But yeah, and then I have a double Jinx opener. I definitely should have held the Jinx pair, but I ended up not holding the Jinx pair. But anyways, let's fast forward a bit. Okay, so we have Rod, Cloak, and Chain, and we have no 2-star units. Okay, well, two Maokai, a Swain. I didn't pick up the Jinx pair because I thought it would be unlikely I could play anything with these items with Jinx. It didn't look very good, but then somehow I got offered a Gunner Heart, which would have been a Jinx too. Maybe it was reasonable. But with these items, it's a bit sus, right? So slammable items, we're thinking like, okay, this is Gargoyle, play around the Rod. It's never Lock It because that's not an item, and then it's Spark, strong early game, play around a Chain. Okay, and so I don't have any 2-star units, so I could slam Gargoyle good or early, and Spark good early, but I don't have a win streak board, so to speak. I cannot confidently say I'm gonna level, slam an item, play for 5 win streak. Okay, it doesn't look very clear to me, right? So if you're not playing for win streak, you can play for lose streak or play for income. So in this case, we're like, oh, well, never take left. Okay, never take middle. Number left. The left. This is not really scaling. This is like I don't even know what the 1, 2, 3 is trying to do. You're trying to like, I'm not even sure what 1, 2, 3 is supposed to do, except trying to fish for a good 3 cost slash, yeah, I don't know. And you're just trying to make a board, I guess, with 1, 2, 3. So you can take 1, 2, 3, not too bad, and try to make a board with Spark Slam or Gargoyle Slam. I probably prefer Spark Slam, to be honest. And then okay, definitely roll middle because, you know, we don't want to lock ourselves in a Gunner. Gunner's not even good. So lose streak, definitely risky moves, right? If we're playing for lose streak, we're playing for playing to scale. Okay, so and then you just try and make your best board possible. And then if you're willing to slam like Spark and say commit AP, you could do that. If you want to slam Gargoyle and not commit, you can also do that. So I slammed Gargoyle and I didn't want to commit. I thought playing around the Rod into a useful item is better than playing around the Chain into a useful item. Because again, we're trying to lose streak, right? You could also say we don't want to make anything. I think that's totally fine as well. Okay, you can be like, let's not make anything. And then we hold a bunch of stuff on bench so that we can actually make a board. So one thing that you guys might misunderstand with lose streak is you equate this to just like, fuck it, let's just full open, no board, 5 lose streak guarantee. So while there are some strategies where you can do that, I think it's very hard. It's very easy to spiral out of control having no board. And then if you don't, like if you literally have nothing, you have to roll on 3-2, which is a little bit difficult, I think. Rolling on 6 is not easy. It's definitely not easy. Also, positioning here is a little bit sus. This casting should not ignore my swing. But yeah, just full open, roll down 3-2 to stabilize a little bit. I don't even do that, okay? I have no idea how to do that. I'm not going to lie. So I prefer you play for... you don't fully like full open. You just try and make a reasonable board after the carousel. I think 3 lose into 2 win is good. I think 5 lose is super unrealistic. But if you can manage 5 lose without full open, that's pretty insane. And then here you saw me hit my pairs. Okay, so one of the main reasons why we don't level. For you guys, it might be obvious to you guys, some of you guys, but to those that do not know, if we're not playing to win streak, we don't level. Right, because we're trying to hit our, well, first off, we're trying to make our 10 gold interest as soon as possible. Second off, we're trying to hit our 1 cost pairs, which we just did. And your odds on level 3 are a lot higher, 75%, than they are on level 4, which I believe should be like around 55%. The odds go down dramatically. Okay, so you can see here, I hit some semblance of a board. We had the Maokai pair hit, we had the Viego pair hit. I'm just playing like this Oriana, maybe she can kill something. This board doesn't really look playable, but then I'm like, oh fuck it, let me play for a win streak. So I would not really recommend this, to be honest. If you didn't level on 2-1, you should not level now. I think I was just trying to see if I could get away with a streak here by playing Bastion with the Maokai. I'm pretty sure this is not a strong board. I'm pretty sure we just lose this because we have 0 damage, okay? Maybe a different story for like Kalista with a Rage Blade slammed or something like that. But yeah, usually speaking, I think you can try to streak if you win 2-1, but it's just leveling on off interval, and then it's a little bit sus, okay? So here, we actually end up losing. Big mistake. Big mistake, I'd say. Don't level and lose, this big troll. And then now I'm like, holy shit, how do I make 10? Now I'm like, how do I make 10? It's a bit fucked, okay? So as you can see, the start is not really ideal. I am already griefing the opening by playing for lose streak. Then I was like, psych, let me try and play for win streak when I hit everything, and then I lost. So now back, I was just fucking full lose streak, okay? So here, we should try and like, make 10 soon TM. Okay, good. I made 10 here, so I saw literally everything, right? Because we need to make 10 here. I mean, I think you can try and like, I think pre-leveling, if you want to save these units, doesn't really make sense, right? Like you're saying, okay, why can't we hold these challenges? You're not playing challenges anytime soon, right? Next thing in is probably like Sork, if we're being honest, or like maybe Rogue or something, okay? And now since you're lose streak, you can get first pick of items. So here, what you want to do, so what a lot of you, what you guys do is like, you're like, oh, okay, let me make Spark here. Let me like make some like strong item here. You need to find direction. So what I mean by direction is, in order to play certain comps, you need certain items, okay? So let's say you want to play Aphelios. Okay, it doesn't, you know, this example is used in any set. Okay, any set with any item. Okay, so if you want to play Aphelios, you need what? You need the Rage Blade. Okay, because Aphelios without Rage Blade is like a lot worse. So that's what we mean by direction. If you have like a Rage Blade, you're like leaning towards those comps that use Rage Blade as a core item. And the reason why you don't want to like just take tank items off the carousel all the time is because if you have too many tank items, you have no direction. You don't know what you can play. Right. In fact, if you have only tank items, you can't play any comp because then you do no damage. You just go 8th, right? You can't win a single round. So we took bow. Items that give direction are carry items. So sword, tier, sword, tier, bow, rod, like this. So stuff that can make carry items, okay? So here I made a rage blade. I'm like, okay, I am thinking I want to play a Zir or a Philios from this spot because they use rage blade, right? And then like very low, like experimental. If I hit like 6 Callisto or something, maybe play like Callisto reroll or some crazy shit. I don't know. That's not really a thing, but just know what your options are with a rage blade slam. Okay, so it's basically in this meta, it's basically a Zir and a Philios, right? So leveled, put in the Malzahar. We have 10 gold. The board is not terrible. Okay, so one thing my chat didn't understand, but when we made the rage blade, they're like, okay, we should put on Oriana, but it's not very good on Oriana, right? Like you put on Malzahar, you put on Oriana. This doesn't really work that well. On Viego specifically, he's easily sellable for Callista on stage 3, and I think he's better right now in the moment, right? And then I'm like, I'm playing to save HP / win. Like we have no streak, okay? So I'm down to win rounds. You know what I'm saying? So here we're like not winning, not losing. It's very like up in the air, okay? And you can see that this Viego falls off a cliff very soon. Nothing in the shop here. I'm thinking like Aphelios. I'm thinking like Azir. If we win this, we should probably hold the Ashe. I'm thinking of Aphelios. We should hold the Ashe here. I don't know why I'm holding this Maokai Viego, but I'm thinking something strange like give me infinite Callistas. I could play Callista Shadow Isle with the Shadow Isle augment offered 3/2. The Shadow Isle sucks. Okay, don't play that shit. Should have held the Ashe here if I was leaning, so I could lean towards Aphelios, right? But honestly, you would probably end up selling it anyways. Just make sure you make your econ thresholds. So here I have 29. If I don't get anything out of this, I need to sell, right? I need to sell, make 30. You just sell the useless shit. Even though we're leaning Azir, holding these Shurimas doesn't work, right? How come? Because my current board is 10,000 years away from Shurima. In fact, even though these are Shurimas, we're not gonna play around Shurima until we have the actual Azir, right? It doesn't make sense to just hold these Shurimas for 4-1, right? That's the earliest you're gonna play around Azir is 4-1, unless you high roll it, right? So you're gonna hold these for 6 rounds. There's no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? You're just losing econ. Okay, if you wonder why people sell this stuff when they want to play around Azir, they want to play around Azir, they sell the Shurimas. You're like, what the hell? Okay. Second, we have a win streak here. We're trying to protect streak. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this is like a full lose streak game, but evidently I was wrong. I won almost every round. So maybe this is a debate video, okay? But I'm sure it's fine. Okay, so here I was trying to keep streak, which is slam items, so we're trying to keep streak, right? So then let's slam the guard breaker on Viego. There's an argument to be made where, okay, I want to greed belt for tank item and crit for carry item. But if you think about it, in Aphelios, this crit is kind of dog because you don't want IE. IE is pretty shitty item. And the belt's useful tank item, sure. And if you think about Azir and Lux, the crit on Azir is also kind of dog. It's only ever a jewel gauntlet on Lux, but I don't even have tier items for Lux. I'm building Azir, right? So I'm playing for Azir. So you just make Guardbreaker, right? We're just playing for streak. So here, you should play. You can make the Guardbreaker. We could level. We could double Nico. I should probably do whatever I can to keep streak here. But unfortunately, I lose streak. I should definitely Nico something, right? I think intent is very important when it comes to playing TFT. You need to ask yourself, what am I supposed to be doing? If you have a streak and you can maintain it, you should. Okay, so we should slam the guard breaker. We should double Nico. We should be aggressive in maintaining streak. And if you don't have a streak, you should play greedy. You need to play greedy with your income and play greedy with your items. Okay, so this fight, we end up winning without having to Nico anything, so that's good. Here, we're trying to play for streak. Still, 3's a crowd, only works with Katarina. I'm not a fan of this. This doesn't make sense on my current board, right? Think about your current board, right? When you're playing for streak, Saber bulk is like maybe acceptable. I mean, it's pretty good in a 0 Lux, so this is acceptable. It works now on my board, and it works later. Usually you want to pick augments that work now and work later. That's highest value. Same with your items, okay? Items that work now and work later, okay? Medium forge, not really appealing. It's just generally, if you could take a combat augment, you would rather have a combat augment. Not today. I was considering like can I play challengers? And then I'm like, what am I talking about? I already slammed the tank item. So if you didn't know, challengers, you want to just do hella damage instead of taking a tank item. Oh, here's LDP. Okay, so LDP, in my opinion, you should just not take this. Okay, so you're thinking, we want to play a 0 Lux. Why not LDP? Two reasons. We might not play a 0 Lux. We could be playing a Freljord, which doesn't have a secondary carry, so then there's a dead augment. So playing this means you have to play a 0 Lux. Second of all, this doesn't work on my current board because I guess I would just LDP a tank. I don't know. That seems kind of sus, right? You remember, you want the augment to work now and to work later. So you can take LDP here, but I think bulk was more flexible because we can play a 0 Lux or we could play a Philios, right? So I took bulk here. Oh, we found a Kaisa. That's pretty insane. We couldn't quite play it. No challengers here. I mean, if I'm trying to jam in this Aurelia, maybe we could like I don't know, we could try and jam it in here. Also, this rogue is not very good. I just had it for Viego, but Viego falls off a cliff stage 3, so we actually end up losing streak. I think there's an argument to be made where we should have immediately sold Viego Katarina, play this Kaisa Aurelia, and then Rage Blade Guardbreaker Kaisa. Would have been much better for sure. It's just that melee carries on stage 3 are pretty ass for the most part. Like, look at this Viego, right? It's not very good. So yeah, we should sell this. So we just lost, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I got my risky moves cash out here. So I'm trying to figure out my best board here. This is definitely not the Viego, right? I'm like trying to figure out how to sell this shit. And if you sell the Viego, you sell the Katarina, right? So then we can like play something else, probably like a Challengers, probably the Warwick. Surely I put in Warwick here or what? Yeah. And then the Malzahar is kind of a little bit sus. Maybe we could play the Urgot or Malzahar. Probably didn't because I thought Void had some value here. Not exactly sure what's going through my head, but yeah. Anyways, you're gonna see me like kind of grief this stage. Like high key, I lose by like 5 units every round. It's not looking that great. So this is more of a lesson in coming back when your board is kind of dog, but you know you have direction because of the Rage Blade, and you know what comp you want to play, right? Okay, so let's say, so from here, I'm like, okay, now you have to choose, okay? Because we're about to pick an item off carousel, right? So it's a Philios, we're playing a Philios, or we're playing a 0 Lux, okay? And you might be like, oh, why don't we play Kaisa? We have a Kaisa, right? Let's check this out, We have Kaisa, why don't we play like Void or some shit? Okay, 6 Void's fake, that's not a thing. Not a real comp. Kaisa, remember, the items determine the comps you can play, and same with the augments. Okay, so if you want to play challengers, you need all offensive items. So you have a stone plate already, so you can't play it, because if you try and play challengers from this spot, let's just say we didn't have the stone plate. Try and play challengers from this spot. Remember, you need items, very specific items that tell you we can play challengers. So in challengers, you just have to figure out that, oh, Shojin, very important on Kaisa. Edge of Night, very important on Yasuo. Do I have any swords? No. Am I close to Shojin? No. Am I close to Edge of Night? No. And then do I have any healing items for Yasuo or Jewel Gauntlet for Kaisa? That's like more secondary. Also no. Okay, so you might be playing the Kaisa now, but there is no universe where you're playing the Kaisa as your final comp, because that's how you go 8th. Okay, and then your augments also, you need to do damage with challengers, and you have a thing that gives you health. Okay, so that you can never play challengers here, right? So yeah. Anyways, now you decide, am I a Zir Lux or am I a Philios? Okay, so judging by this, it just looks like a Zir Lux, because we can get the Nasus core piece in a Zir Lux, and it's a rod, right? Rod for Zir or Lux, so it looks really good. Okay, so I'm like, okay, give me down to commit. So we're committed now. From this spot, I mean, you could still play a Philios to get another Rage Blade. That's fine. But now we're giga leaning towards a 0 Lux, okay? Especially because we have the Nasus, right? Okay, so we get this item here. And so for this item, I want you to think a 0 Lux, okay? So one thing you should do is don't take Collector. If it's not stage 2, Collector doesn't scale. So it's either DFG or Hourglass. And this is just a knowledge check, I think. I didn't know this before, but someone told me that Hourglass is Azir's best item pretty much. So it's just like, oh, now we're guaranteed Azir. Now I pick this. Okay, now we're Azir no matter what. I don't care. I don't care what's going on. We are a 0 Lux, okay? I'm trying to make some semblance of a board that does damage, but you'll see that I fail pretty badly here. I just lose by 1,000,000 units. Okay, now we get to the spot in the video where I'm 30 HP and there are 5 challenger players. Not like the trade, but actual 1,000 OP players in my lobby. How do we win? How could we possibly win from this spot? Okay, so what you'll notice in this game is that I streaked stage 2. I lost a round, but then I attempted to streak, and then I reverse streaked. I lost every round in stage 3, and I had risky moves. So with all this money, we just send it. So the more money you have, the more options you have in terms of how to play the game. I can level, I can roll, whatever. I'm more likely to hit with more money I have, right? So here, you're just like, okay, you just need a roll for comp. Okay, if you guys are wondering, when do I ever skip 8? You don't skip 8. I mean, sorry, you don't skip 7. You don't skip to 8, okay? You press D until you can fight, okay? Because if you don't press D until you can fight, you go 8th, okay? This is something I say this every fucking video, but if you are not strong by 4-1, you're going 8th or you have 100 gold. Okay, you're rolling 50 gold very soon on 8, or you're going 8th. Okay, that pretty much covers like 95% of the scenarios coming to stage 4-1. Okay, so you roll down, you roll for comp. In terms of like roll speed, you can just it's just a lot of practice, but you should just do it slowly. Okay, so what you're really thinking here is just pick up all units in comp, plus anyone that can use these items. And then since Kai'Sa's my holder, I'm just not going to pick up anything except other Kai'Sas in his ear. Okay? That's what I'm thinking here. I'm like, okay, do I make that? Not really. Okay, and then that's -1 gold if you make that, by the way. Because we're going to hit, okay? Trust. You got to keep rolling until you hit, okay? I'm like holding these Callistas for like, I don't know, Callista 2 is better than Kai'Sa 1 for like item holder, right? You don't have to do that. Like if you have problems like rolling and stuff, just like don't buy the extra shit. Don't buy other like Rageblade users, but you should once you get better at the game, okay? So here I'm just like fucking full selling everything. I'm fucking just wait until I hit the Azir and just ignore all this other shit, okay? And then I'm like, okay, we need to fix the board, right? So I'm trying to make the best board possible. And I'm like, this looks a little bit sus. Got to keep rolling. And then running out of time, so I start making items. And then we just slam all our Azir items, right? Rageblade, Hourglass, Guardbreaker. And then we think about Nasus items. It looks like a Sunfire. And this looks like a Gunblade. One thing you have to remember is that you need Shred in this comp. Okay, so this is something we should talk about here. We're getting the outlines of the comp. Right, so the augments look good, the units look good, the items look good, except for the fact we have no shred. So you should prioritize shred. Okay. Now the problem here is that the only shred you can get is a static and a spark. Okay, and the issue here is that if we try and get let's look at our items. We have 2 swords. We can't make a Deathblade in this comp, obviously. That's how you go 8th, right? Can't make a Deathblade. Can't make an Edge of Night. Can't make a Zeke's. This is all dog shit. I mean, you could try and make a Zeke's, but that sounds pretty bad. You just kill a Nasus item, right? So I'm just like, fuck it, make a Nasus item. Fuck it, make a Gunblade. Okay, but not having Spark is really bad. Okay, just so you know. So I actually there's an argument to be made here where you say fuck it, don't make anything, try and get Spark off Carousel. I would probably play for Spark on Carousel because slamming a Gunblade here doesn't really do that much. It's like it is a good item, but only if you do damage. And this Lux 1, Lux 1, 2 Sork, no Demacia is not doing damage, okay? So I would rather just have not made anything and pray I can kill these swords later. But I should probably play for Spark on Carousel. So we actually almost end up going 8th because I don't have any shred. It's very important, okay? I don't know how important it is for 9.5, but for set 9, I'm sure for 9.5 as well. Shred is going to be very important for whatever type of damage you do. So for magic damage, you need a Spark or Shiv. Hopefully a Spark, but Shiv is acceptable or pretty good in his ear. And then, well, for Sorix, you don't really want Shiv, you want Spark, right? And then for Aphelios, you just pick Freljord. You know how it is. Okay, so in terms of augments, you pick the best combat augment you can possible. Shrima's Legacy is what I'm looking at here. Okay, it can't be these. Like, we're fucking dying, right? We need some power right now. So I'm thinking Shrima's Legacy, right? I'm like considering return. Okay, I'm like Forge. Maybe I can like get a Lux item or a Nasus item. I don't really know. It's probably Shrima's Legacy, but I took a Forge and I high rolled Eternal Winter. Low key, This is kind of trolling, but I high rolled Eternal Winter, so can't really complain. And then now you have the okay. So if you're wondering when do you roll on 7, if you can roll a relatively small amount of money to get very strong, you should roll. So in this case, I have a Azir pair. I should roll, right? I need a roll, so we can try and hit this Azir, right? End up hitting Aatrox, like kind of improve the board a little bit, but we're gonna lose rounds because we don't have the shred. This is a shred diff here. We fast forward this, you don't actually have to watch the rounds here. I'm like just making the Swain. Probably miss Swain on roll down. I tend to miss Swain here. And then you can think about like your upgrades here. So like it's Jarvan over Aatrox for 3 Demacia. We can hold the Jarvan. It's Cassante over Talia. You know, you should think about like what's next on my board. Like what comes next on my board. But yeah, I need a roll like very soon. I'm like 23 HP. I need a roll like very soon. So like probably just gonna roll after the carousel, or I could like Omega try and greed and go 8. Because we have a Nessus 2, thinking like maybe even Nessus 2 are good to go. This Cassante is just a Cassante, right? Also, it's half a Shiv. I went for the Jarvan because we needed the unit, right? If your items are good, we need the unit. It was definitely a Cassante there. Oh, I took a tier for Shojin. I think it was Cassante, so that we can play for Shiv and then we can replace Talia. So probably a mistake there by me. Not even probably. That looks like a mistake. And I roll. Okay, this is I'm pretty sure we roll on 7 there. I'm giga greeting for this, thinking I can high roll this Jarvan. This is not gonna work. Yeah, it was definitely a roll angle. This is kind of a giga mistake. But I high rolled the Jarvan. Yeah, that was a roll angle. Okay, and it was a play for Shiv angle, not this Shojin on Lux. Who cares about Lux right now? So maybe this video high key trolling, but we do a little bit of griefing with the leveling and kind of getting away with it. I'm not gonna lie. We high roll Eternal Winter. We high roll a Jarvan. Pretty insane. Now we need to think about making a shred. Now we need shred. Okay. Now from this spot, we just need to hit all our units and get shred. Okay. That was like really risky what I did there. But I thought maybe I was just thinking, fuck it, let's just level. But that was really risky. Usually in TFT, you want to play consistent, okay? You want to go with a low risk play. Level and pray to hit is not a low risk play. I'm pretty sure we roll there until we hit the Jarvan. Hit the Azir 2, we're fucking chilling, okay? I don't know why the fuck I leveled there. That was a psychopath maneuver, okay? So the rest of this, I'm like 1 HP. I'm 10 HP. I'm actually high key getting punished here for not having a Azir 2. Right? Not having a Azir 2, not having a Lux pair. And then I get bailed out. So here, obviously, we need to make a Shiv, right? We get bailed out on the items. And then get bailed out on the... Okay, maybe this game is just high roll, okay? Maybe this game was just high roll. Maybe this game was not even good VOD to watch. I got bailed out by Murdoch. But... Okay. The big takeaways... Okay, the big takeaways here... Okay, from watching this game, is you need to roll on 7. Okay, you need to roll on 7. I was considering if I want to Shiv Azir and pop anything off, but I don't. You want to roll on 7, and from a losing position, also it was spread the components for bulk value. In a losing, when you're like lose streaking, like for loss streak stage 3, you just need to consider what comps you can play with your items. Your items tell you what comps are acceptable to play from your spot. And then once you have a certain amount of items that can't be played in other comps, you're committed. Okay, so like for example, when I pick the Hourglass, we're committed as your Lux no matter what. Roll down, don't hit, FF, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, and then after this, I mean, it's just a first. Okay, we skip through this, but we win every single round. And then, because we have the units are insane. Units are insane, items are insane, and augments are insane, right? As for Carousel here, we took the Heimer because we're like, can this Heimer use, can I use this Heimer to, we have Shred in Static, and we have Burn, so we don't actually have to use this Heimer. But I was not sure what else I wanted from this Carousel. It could have been like Warmogs, potentially. Don't think it's Aatrox pair. Bramble potentially. I'm not really sure. I just took the Heimer because it was gold, and then I realized, oh, maybe I can use this. I'm like, not sure. I'm like, not sure. And then I'm like, okay, let's roll and find out. And then we're like, oh fuck, okay, I guess we're finding out. And then we just static Rage Blade this. I mean, like, usually we don't swap out this Aatrox, but because of the items, because it was a Rage Blade and no one else can use Rage Blade, I played the Heimer. I think in this spot it should be 2 repair, 1 burn, because we already have shred and burn. So it should be 2 repair, maybe even 3 repair. Just like Giga Frontline. But we just went for the default shrink, burn, and execute here. I think it's just because we had no money and I was just trying to get as strong as possible immediately. So we couldn't wait for perfect timer items, perfect timer upgrades, right? And also, we had a Rage Blade on Heimer, so you kind of want to do the carry Heimer upgrades. This guy died. Wow, it was a death match between me and him. And then fast forward, I think this is the final board. We just end up winning rounds. You can see what we can. We can't go 9 here. Look at the HP, right? So here we just like roll. I mean, you just hold stuff, see if you can 3-star anything. You can't 3-star anything. You're just like rolling for like a miracle, like 2-star legendary or something. Who knows, bro? Like it's not happening, right? Pick item. Spark for Lux, very good here. Last Whisper, we don't need to cut AD. Death Cap, we have no one to put Death Cap on. Redemption is mana for Jarvan and Cassandra to cast earlier, and it's a tank item. Archangel, not relevant. So Spark or Redemption, probably end up picking Spark here for the Lux, right? Because Shiv does shred, and so does this turret, but sometimes they're not hitting the target, or Shiv takes 3 auto attacks to cast, and then turret is only a single hit until the burn spreads it. So Spark is not bad, okay? Spark is very consistent, okay? We can put Cassandra, we can put on Jarvan. I don't like it on Jarvan because he jumps away from Lux, so Lux is not aiming the not aiming a shredded target sometimes when Jarvan jumps away. But Spark is not bad, okay? Having multiple sources of shred is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? Just so you guys know. Not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, you don't want to just like stack it for fun, but not a bad thing, okay? And then fast forward here, we actually just end up top 1, okay? So if there's a dirty, honestly, low key, that going 8 was a little bit of a psychopath move, but from my spot, rolling down, okay, rolling down would have guaranteed a top 4. Okay, just ignore the high roll part. We would have top 4'd from this like 50 gold with a 0 pair, like this 4-5 angle. You just press D here and you top 4. Okay, a 0-2 Jarvan, replace, chill, go 8, and then GG, right? So I think the big takeaway is getting to a spot where you can have a good final board. Because this is how you go from 8th to 1st, right? If we didn't have these, if we didn't build good items and have good augments for our direction, there is no way we can top 4 from 8th, right? So anyways, hopefully you guys learned something. I know this VOD might have been a little bit sauce, especially the level 8 play. Did a little bit dirty high rolling, but hopefully you learned something in the stage 2, 3, 4. Okay, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any comments. I will see you guys next time.